Hi, guys, and welcome to Keep Hope Alive podcast. We are in season 9 already, and we have a wonderful guest speaker for you today. Her name is Allison Wood, and she is a trauma anxiety therapist, and she's also trained in hypnotherapy, which I love that. I'm learning a little bit more about that part. So, welcome to
Thank
Keep Hope
you.
Alive. Keep on being alive. I like that one too. You can change it up all the time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. And right before we get started, I do have a question for you.
Yep,
Out of the past 15 years, how many weddings have you been to?
probably 3.
Three. Okay. And usually at a ceremony, when you're walking in, they will have something for you to sign. What is that thing called?
A guest book?
Yes, very good. I mean, heard other answers in the past, like my life away. I laugh at that one. But no,
No,
or
no, the
the
guest
marriage
book, I
license.
think.
Do I have to pay for something like the bill for the caterer? But anyways, so yeah, instead of having a guest book there, Life on Record has a vintage rotary phone that your guests can pick up and
Oh,
leave a message for the
I
couple.
love that.
I know, it's so cute. I really got to get a phone here because this is not working. Vintage rotary. People don't even know what rotary is anymore.
Right.
Anyways, so right next to it, they have a QR code scan. So if somebody wants to take out their mobile and just scan that to leave them a message before or after the wedding, they can definitely do that.
Oh,
After
that's
they
so
collect
cool.
all those messages, they burn them on a 10-inch vinyl record, or they have this cute little boom box they store them in. So I guess it's like your year anniversary when you're taking out that top of the cake. Well, you can take out your boom box and listen to everybody
Oh my God, I
congratulate you.
love that.
So
That's so special. What a
I
great
know.
idea.
And the best thing is they're affordable. You get the phone number for 1 year at $99. So here's my thing. If you get it for 1 year, hey, send a little message to everybody who came. You remember that phone number you called? You can leave us a happy 1 year anniversary too. And it
Yeah,
will be stored onto it again. And then so you have two collections.
that's so
So,
cool.
but definitely, yeah. So check them out at www.lifeonrecord.com. All right. So, who is Allison? Tell us something we do not know about you yet, or the world knows about you yet.
Well, I am a semi-retired therapist. I'm a weight loss coach. I'm a mom. I have 2 parents with dementia. I'm married. I live in Canada. There's so many things.
Which one did you want to start at?
Well, I want to talk about the weight loss coaching because I think it's pretty cool. And so at some point we'll go there. Let's see what your questions are about me. What do you want to know?
Okay, well, let me throw what I did back in the past.
Okay.
I've always followed Denise Austin's book and her workout stuff. And this is when, oh my gosh, 21 years ago.
Yeah.
And doctors were saying I could never get pregnant whatsoever. And yes, we're talking about weight loss, and I have a Coke, sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm sorry, my mouth is dry. I need a little fluid. But yeah, so I would do her routine, and I was coming into terms I could never get pregnant. So I was running, jumping into the hot tub. Then I would do a little bit more running, go to the apartment, take a shower, get ready for the night. That was my routine to try to help heal me. I just felt like the biggest loser that I could not provide a child in our marriage, and it hurt so bad. But following her routine, I got pregnant. And I didn't know I was pregnant for 3 months. And I'm like, no, you guys said I couldn't get pregnant. So here comes beautiful Mallory into the world. And I was like,
Aw.
okay, well, got this. And then right after I had Mallory, Yeah, you can't get pregnant. I'm like, I'm not listening to you guys anymore. It's for the man upstairs. He's in charge of that. You guys don't know what you're
Exactly.
saying. But, something about like after having Mallory, I gained some health issues like Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, and it was losing a lot of, I'm sorry to be gory, blood. But I decided to do the gastric sleeve because I heard it could help take away Crohn's and
Mhm.
ulcerative colitis. And at the
Mhm.
time, I was diabetic, so it was taking away those things. Oh my goodness. I didn't have the best of doctors, so make sure you have a good doctor. I mean, y- y- yeah, it went away, but I had new health issues right away that he had to go
Yeah.
back and fix some things, and then it caused other new things. And then one of the latest things that it caused for after fixing, I said, do the bypass also. Oh boy. I got an ulcer disease. So I'm going to try to sum this up really quick. Turned out not my gastroenterologist, it was a bicker between the both of them of who was going to take it out. He took it out, but I guess the way he cut, I got cellulitis and I had a wedding to do. And I was like 103 fever. Yeah. And it wouldn't break. And they were like, no, you cannot do the wedding at all. You have to be in here right now. Like, and I went on to DFW clicking moms. Hey, I am going to die and I have a wedding and this is their contact. Who wants it? And the person called me within seconds. And I'm so blessed for her. And I got them in touch, and my mom took me to the hospital, but it was a nightmare because it was like the doctor would ran out into the emergency waiting room. It's like, come on, come out. And no time to knock you out. We got to cut her open. And
Wow.
I don't think anybody in the world ever wants to hear that. And then you hear the word cellulitis, and it's like, okay. I go, no, no, you're gonna have to knock me out. There, my mom's holding one hand, two other nurses holding the other one. The doctor is just there putting on one of those schmucks just in the ER. Didn't take me to a special room, just it
Yeah.
hurt, it hurt. And yeah, so I had lots of things go wrong with there. And then I learned the pouch was done wrong, so it doesn't process food correctly. So my body now makes kidney stones for the fun of it. It's
Wow.
not because I'm drinking Coke tea or water. That he's like, everybody says that. He goes, it's your pouch wasn't done right.
Right.
And he goes, I want to run so many tests on you, and I haven't even gone yet because I'm tired of being a guinea pig.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like, okay, I lost a lot of weight for good reasons. I got rid of Crohn's disease, which is painful. Ulcerative was no fun. I'm
Yeah.
diabetic, but I gained all these other things and stuff
Yeah.
they didn't even tell me. So, I mean, I remember talking to a friend the other day because I feel like in the past three jobs I've had people confirm, oh, well, you were just too pretty to be working here. And I'm like, this is the third time. I go, why can't I go back to being ugly? That's all I want. And this guy goes laughs, but you're too pretty to be ugly. And I go, thanks. I was like, I don't want that anymore. That's something that we recognize even with the surgery. We know how we were before. People really didn't care. They didn't talk to us. And now because I look like this, it's da, 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 mm-mm. I'm the same old person back in the day, same heart, same soul, everything is the same. But when you want to do weight loss, I was thinking about it because I would love to lose a couple more pounds right now.
Mhm.
And they are always saying no to sodas and no to this and no and eat this. I even sat at a meetup group. What is keto diet, which I know I can never do. That scares me. It seems like it's an all day process work.
Right.
But I mean, so when you do weight loss, what do you do for your clients?
So I have a really different approach to weight loss because of my background as a therapist and a hypnotherapist. I really believe that to really lose weight and keep it off, you really have to work from the inside out. Like it's not a matter of just following a diet and eating what someone tells you to eat. It's actually about internally being able to stick with something, change your habits, work with your brain, learn how to really change behavior and patterns so that you're changed for good. Otherwise, you're just going to gain it all back because it's outside of yourself. So I believe like changing people from the inside out, really learning how your brain works, learning how to develop habits, behaviors, change the patterns that you may have had for generations, that you've watched your mother, you've watched your grandmother, you've watched how women talk about their bodies, you've learned how to eat from observing other people. You haven't questioned those things. They're so autopilot. So for me, it's very psychologically based. And of
Yeah.
course, I'm a therapist. I've worked with people changing behavior for 27 years. So when it went to the weight loss world, I wasn't going to do the traditional things. I wanted to approach it from a really helping people sustain weight loss, stick with it, and be able to change their thoughts, behaviors, and patterns around food for good. So that's kind
Yeah.
of why where my program's really different. And it's about really learning how to sustain it, how to stick with it, how to not get in your own way. Because a lot of people have negative beliefs about their body, about their success. So if they don't get what they want right away, they get down on themselves. If they get on the scale and it's gone up, they just shame themselves and they say, "Oh, I'll never be able to do it." And they get really caught up in the negative thoughts. So to really change, especially for women that are over 35 or over 40, when things slow down a little, if it's not coming quickly, it becomes harder for them because they're not getting that direct feedback about what they're doing. So it requires you to really stick with it. And you can't stick with it if you have autopilot behaviors and negative self-beliefs that get you stuck and sabotage you from continuing. So that's where my work is with people, and I find it really rewarding. I love it because people are learning not just how to change the way they eat, the way they talk to themselves, but it begins to impact their whole lives because they learn they can change anything. Any
Yeah.
behavior that's stuck, any pattern or habit that they're doing, they can learn how to change it. So
Hmm.
I just love it. I love it.
That's good. That's good. I mean, I know when I go to my pain doctor and he's like, you gotta weigh on the scale. I had my son with me the last time and they let him go. I was like, wait, he's not here for you, but I wanted to know how much he weighed. And they did that, but when I got on, it said I gained 2 pounds, and I'm like, you need a new scale because all this is wrong. It's
Right.
just
It must be your scale. It could never be me. It
not
has to be the
me.
scale. Yeah.
You're like, maybe it's your boots. Yeah, let's let's leave it at that. But then you go through the stages of denial, or I remember back in the day working out, well, I just need a new scale because this scale lies, you know.
Right.
But there was so many different things, and it's easy to set your mind and be like, I am done. I don't like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I learned in the apartment complex I lived when I was running on a treadmill, there was always a girl that came in and she would work out and she goes, when I look at you, you motivate me to continue to do better. I was like, oh, that's sweet,
Aw.
and I did. And I tried to help her as much as I could, but I also knew I had to get back to routine, go do the cooking and go do the
Mhm.
cleaning
Yeah.
afterwards, it's just one of those things. But um, the empowerment was there. It felt good. And you got
Mhm.
to really bring it in for yourself. Nobody else makes the decision for you. Everybody can hear it like in the background. Oh, you're fat, you're ugly, you gotta lose weight. Oh, that shirt doesn't fit you. Those pants don't fit
Yeah.
you. It's like we don't need to hear so much negative behavior.
Mhm.
It's gonna force us to go work out.
Right.
Because that's what I tell people. We hear that we have to work on it. Why are we hearing it? and fix that first. It's
Mhm.
got to be up to you want to make this change.
Yeah.
Nobody else will make it for you. So,
Yeah.
but I'm glad they have coaches like you. So is it like a boot camp too?
No, so it's 6 weeks actually. And they can either buy it as a course and do it completely by themselves, or they can do the VIP where I work with them as well. So they get the course, but then they also work with me and they get that sort of one-on-one help and specific to their situation. Some people like
Hmm.
that. They want to have that little bit of extra support. And other people are like, no, I just want to learn the concepts. I'll practice them on my own. It comes with worksheets and they can do the worksheets each week and they're learning. I like layering it with the additional support, but some people do really well with just the course. So it depends on the
Oh,
person, you know?
that's cool. That is super cool. Like, is
Yeah.
this something, are you selling this as a course on like
Yeah.
Amazon? Okay, then
Yeah.
I
So I
will
sell
add
it as a
this.
course. Yes, I sell it as a course. It's on my stand store. And then I also offer people the option to do one-on-one along with it if they want to. And then obviously they pay for those hours separately. Somebody might say, you know what, if I saw you twice a month and I did the course, it would probably help me that much more. Great. They want to see me once, they want to do 2 half hours. Like I'm really flexible. When people come to talk to me, a lot of them want to do the VIP. They want the one-on-one, but not everyone.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, here's your options. You know what? I wanted to make this accessible. When I was only doing one-on-one and I was teaching everything one-on-one, I got so busy that I didn't have room in my calendar. I was burning out because I was seeing too many people. So I had to find a way to give people options where I could make it more accessible to people, have different price points. You know, if someone
Mhm.
just wants to do the course, they can buy that and do that on their own, and it's not that expensive. If they want to go full force and they want to have, you know, all the layers of learning and watch it, hear it, do the worksheets and meet with me, then they have that option too. So I tried to make it so that it was available. And then that way they're learning a lot of the concepts by watching the course and doing the worksheets. And then they need less sessions with me so I can fit more people in. Because it was
Hey,
just getting crazy. I was getting like 9 referrals a week. And
that's
it was,
good. That's
I
really
had to stop because I was like, I don't want to burn out. I have to find a way to teach it differently. And I'm teaching everyone the same things. Whereas if I put that in a course, then everyone can watch the course and then work with me on the parts they don't understand or how to apply it to their life better. Right.
yeah.
So that's how I've done it. So now they may only work with me for 4 or 5 hours or less. Whereas before people were coming for 12, 14 weeks. And
Oh
because I was teaching
wow.
all the concepts and supporting them, so that it obviously cost them a lot more too. So I tried to
Yeah,
find a way where I could let more people do it. Let more people learn this
exactly.
missing weight. Learn how to really change from the inside out. Learn how habits are formed. How does the brain work with habits? You know, how do you really change a habit? How do you change a behavior that you've had for 20, 30, 40 years? How do you change that? And that's where people start to really make differences in their lives, is when they can change those automatic habits that are so unconscious that they're not even aware of. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, so that's what the course teaches them how to do. And like I said, they can do it in all different ways, whatever suits them. And I'm here to support them if they need me. And if they're good to do it on their own, then that's great too.
Yeah, definitely. That's amazing. I love that you do that. So I know I'd be going online version to, try it out and stuff, but then I'm like, oh, I would need a workout room. Right now, I turned my son's bedroom into my like office now. So he has this gaming thing, his bed, and I'm like, okay, here's my little office I get to work from. But
Yeah, but you know what? It's funny because the working out part is interesting because a lot of the clients that I've worked with, they aren't moving, right? They're not moving their bodies. And that is honestly part of the beginning of the course. So what I ended up doing is I made the course into 2 parts. It comes as one package, but it's really 2 parts. The
mhm,
first part is what, when, and how to lose weight, because I wanted to explain exercise, what little bit you need to actually make a difference, you know,
yeah.
food timing, food combining, like all that kind of stuff, so that everybody had a foundation, that they just know those basic things. And I don't have to do any of that. And then part two is where we really get into like the behavior change. And
Yes.
so I feel like I'm so proud of it. Like I feel like it's such a great combination. And it's what I built, I wrote the program for myself and I lost 35 pounds during menopause. Like I know it works,
Yay.
right? I used it on
Yeah.
me and I couldn't, nothing worked for me. So this is what worked for me. I had to work behaviorally. Like just trying and then failing over and over and over again was affecting my self-esteem and my confidence and my trust in myself. It's like you betray yourself over and over when you try and you fail by the end of the day. It's just, it really beats on you,
Yeah. I
you
don't want
know?
any of those hot flashes, so it helps with the hot flashes.
You know what's interesting is that when I changed some behavioral things around the what, when, and how to eat, that
Hmm.
did actually change a lot in terms of the symptoms of menopause. And I think it's because, for example, one of the big things that I did that I talk about in part one of the course is I stopped eating in the evenings.
Hmm.
And by not eating in the evenings, I wasn't having digestive processes happening while I was sleeping. And that really helped a lot with hot flashes during the night. So
Okay.
there were little things that I did that I was like, oh, that's interesting. I don't get hot flashes anymore. If I stop eating at 6 p.m., my body's not digesting. I've already digested and it can go into rest and repair, which is what it's supposed to do when you sleep. Instead
Yeah.
of digesting the food I've eaten, when you're already vulnerable to sugar and caffeine more than ever when you're going through menopause, it just elevates that when you're eating past 6 and going to bed. So that helped me a
Yeah.
lot with menopause. So yeah, it helped manage the symptoms of menopause. Losing weight helped manage the symptoms as well. I slept better because I was eating better. Like there was just so many things about it. It was really transformative. It really changed my life a lot to lose the weight and built my confidence in myself that I can do anything. Like when you
Good.
can lose,
Good.
when you try for 8 years to lose weight and you can't, and you finally figure it out, that's pretty rewarding.
Yeah, definitely. It
And it
is
feels
rewarding.
really damn good. You know?
I know it does. Yeah. And then seeing with the weight off and you're getting new clothes and everything, it's
Yeah.
like, wow, I did this. This is making
Yeah.
me whole. I can go against the world and have
Yeah.
fun, have at this. So,
And I also
yeah.
finally got to the point where I knew it wasn't temporary. Because every
Hmm.
time I lost weight before, I was losing it because I was trying something, trying a program, trying something, trying keto, trying Weight Watchers, trying whatever. Like I was doing something and then it would all come back on. Whereas I finally knew what to do and I knew how to do it forever. Like I don't have to
Yeah.
learn another program again because now
Yeah.
I know what to do to change my behavior. And that's what a lot of my clients say is that they'll say, well, it's now I know what to do. Like, so they have one bad day or a bad week or whatever. They'll be like, well, I know what to do though. And I'm like, exactly. You know
Good.
exactly what to do
Yes.
now. You don't
Yeah.
have to feel discouraged and "Oh, I don't know how to do this and I'm never going to do it, never be able to do it. And I just fail every time. It's like, no, I know what to do. And so
That's
that
the
just
best part.
empowers you that you can,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I'm back on track. I know what to do. So it just changes the way that you look at it. It's changes your mindset.
Yep. And it is a mindset game.
It is a
Everything is.
mindset game. Like I say, it's like it's an inside job, as they say. Like it's internal. It's working on your internal thoughts, your beliefs, your habits, your
Mhm.
patterns, your automatic subconscious
Oh, yeah.
responses to stress or how you manage your emotions or like there's so much happening in the background. And until you learn to really look at that and dissect it,
Hmm.
and really take it apart and become an observer, become a science experiment of your own, then you're able to change those things. And so I don't know. I find it so rewarding. I'm just so happy that I get to talk about it too, because I love talking about it. So thank you for letting me talk about it.
Well, yes, that's what we're here for. I want people to be heard. And if my friend was still in this world, she'd be so happy too. So that is the one thing that we always talked about on the phone is why can't people be heard? Well, here it is, charity.
Yeah.
The world is being heard.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that's, I
but
suppose that's part of your mission in a way, isn't it? Right? Is that you
it
give people
is.
space to really
Yeah,
talk about whatever they want to talk about.
she was more always at the doctors not being heard. The times I've
Right.
been to the doctors, I felt like I wasn't heard. In relationships in general, not being heard. And I'm a certified wedding planner, event coordinator, photographer. I've been in the industry different through the hospitality. Like I've seen it all. My hands have been through every aspect. And I think there's some things like even when I go to karaoke, if I'm sitting at the bar waiting just for the DJ to get started, you'll hear everybody's discussions. I don't know if my ears are just really good, but some of them are really, really funny. Like, oh my gosh, what's in their drink? But they're always talking about their goals or what they wish would have
Yeah.
happened. And those open doorways for me because, like, even talking to another podcaster, I said, I was at Barnes and Noble looking for this and I couldn't find it. And then I just like, duh, I can create this and put it on the podcast and
Yeah.
everybody can have it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm starting to do the work slowly today. I go, these are my goals before Valentine's Day. I want to make
Yeah.
a special edition and give it to the world. So, finding love does not have to be hard. So
Right.
sometimes people will make it hard and it's just unbelievable. But
Yeah.
also, I was reading about you and talking about the hypnotherapy. What made you get into hypnotherapy?
So when I first started, because I've been practicing for 27 years. So
Hmm.
when I first started practicing, there was a hypnotherapist that worked across the hall. And I remember she was saying to me, you would really benefit from the concepts in hypnotherapy and really understanding how to change behavior. And so I decided to go and just go to like a conference. Like I went to a conference, and when I was there, I really thought it was very, very fascinating because it really taught you how we are all hypnotized. We've all heard things, anything that's been repeated over and over is hypnosis. And so we're being hypnotized by our environment, by the people we're around, because we hear the same messages over and over. And so I started using it with clients then, and I actually did a lot of weight loss way back then. This is like 2003 maybe.
Okay.
And I made used to make custom CDs for people, like whatever they were working on, I would make them a CD. But I found doing the hypnotherapy in the sessions, I found it really boring. Like it's very
Yeah.
repetitive. That's the whole point. It's repetitive, very boring. So that's why I started making the CDs. And then what it was is hypnotherapy kind of became a foundation for how I understood behavior change. So it really influenced how I helped people to change over the years. And because it was always like a backdrop. It was always there. It made helped me understand how much the way they spoke to themselves or the way people in their lives treated them would result in them believing something so true, but that they could also have a completely different viewpoint if they had a different upbringing or a different person who spoke to them differently. So I always used it as part of my understanding of human behavior, so it informed my practice. And there were times I still did hypnotherapy and I used it with clients, but more I used it in a way to help them relax or reduce stress. And now I use it a lot more because I use it with the weight loss again, right? Because I teach
Hmm.
people, it's not that I do the hypnosis now. I teach them self-hypnosis. I teach them
Oh,
how to
okay.
do it, how to change their brain, right? How to change their subconscious programming. We're all just programmed, right? We don't realize the influences
Really,
we
yeah.
have. They affect us. All we have all these influences. By the time we're adults, we already have pre-programmed beliefs about ourselves and the world and whether we're smart or not smart or whatever it
Hmm.
is, whether we can have a healthy relationship or we can't, whether we can have a good job or we can't. That's all kind of programmed in. So
Yeah.
with the weight loss, going back to the hypnosis again had to be part of it. Teaching people self hypnosis, teaching them how to understand habits and behavior change from the perspective of hypnosis had to be in there. And people really like it because it empowers them. It gives them a tool that they can use every
Oh yeah.
day to just change their own behavior. So I just love giving people things that they can do forever. Like teach this one thing and you'll be able to do it the rest of your life and it will help you the rest of your life. You don't need to be dependent on me. I can teach you how to do it. So
Yay.
hypnosis is part of that. Yeah, so that's kind of the story with the whole hypnosis thing. And I use hypnosis a lot in my own life. I use self-hypnosis if there's any like it's kind of like the manifestation stuff. They're very, very similar. When you talk about when people do manifestation exercises, it's very
Yeah.
similar to hypnosis.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, so I do a lot of manifestation. Like if there's something I really want, I'll do a lot of visualization and program myself to be open and receptive to opportunities in that direction. So hypnosis is very closely tied into when people talk about manifestation. They're actually very similar. Yeah.
That is cool. So I can focus on a house. I want to get a house this year
Right. Focus
with a
on your
hot tub.
house, draw it, feel it, like tell your subconscious, because the way that it really works is we have this mechanism in our brain where when we are oriented to something, when we are thinking about it a lot, we're writing about it, we're feeling it, whereas as if it's already happened, we're
Yeah,
actually programming our brain to start looking for information to direct us toward it.
that's awesome. Yeah, definitely.
So if you want a house, start drawing. That's what I did with this house. This house was a drawing. It was a drawing that I drew over and over and over again. I drew the inside. Eventually, I mean, as amazing as it is, I brought those drawings to an architect and they made my house.
Nice.
But it took
Nice.
years of like dreaming it, visualizing it. What does it look like? What does it feel like when I'm there? How does it
So
feel to walk through
it's
it?
kind of
Like
like
just
the
working through the
vision
visualization is
board aspect. Before I got married, I would cut out the pictures of everything of how everything was going to be,
right.
and I rolled it up and I kept it in my closet. And then when I got proposed to, I was like, surprise, it's already planned. Nothing to do, just find it.
Right.
So, but yeah, and
And it happened. You brought that in, you drew that in. So it's I don't know. I
yeah.
find it really cool.
Yeah, it is. If you have those goals, write it out. This is what I'm going to
Yes.
aim for this year. So, yes, I know. I still have my vision for 2024. It was a financial one. I was like, I am going to get a house. I am going to move on. I'm going
Okay.
to be happy. Let's go. But there's this thing called life, and sometimes you get thrown a curveball that is going to
Yes.
be like, oh, but we're going to change that whole thing, and I feel like the ball's gonna go, well, what are you gonna do to get rid of me? I'm like, okay, ball, I see you there. I'm gonna be punting you pretty soon once I figure it out. So, but definitely, those are things that we hold strong to with our beliefs and everything.
Yeah.
So, having you as a coach, if you want to lose weight, if you want to learn the hypnotherapy,
Yep.
um, it's like you've created a mindset, and that's also what you're offering to your clients that or your clients is that mindset aspect of how to
Yeah.
get that. And that's the best medicine right there, because
Mhm.
I don't think they put that on market. And to hear that,
No.
hey, I am willing to help you get this, that maybe not a lot of people will do,
Yeah.
that is so wonderful. So I really want people to reach out to you and definitely get that. So where on social media can they find you?
So I have a website which is called whyweightprogram.com and it's spelled WEIGHT because it's why
Okay.
wait.
Okay.
The play on words.
Uh-huh.
So I have a website. I have A Wood Coaching is me on TikTok and Instagram, but I don't do a lot of social media. Like that's really new for me. I never did any advertising. This is like a new world. So I'm starting to have to put myself out there in this new world and it's been very interesting. But yeah, so it's A Wood Coaching is how you would find me on most platforms. But probably the website's the easiest way, which is whywaitprogram.com. Or people can find me on Instagram and TikTok, just send me a message and I'll get back to them personally. I don't have people who work for me. I always call everyone myself. I talk to everyone myself. I help everyone myself. I don't think I'll ever have anyone that does it for me. I want to do that. I want to have that personal relationship with people. So,
You see, I'm kind of the same way. I thought at one time, no, I really need an intern to help me out because there is a high demand to be on the show. I can't keep up with it all. And then I finally gave in to when it's on Facebook Messenger and they're coming through. I've been hitting the little mic and just talking into it and saying, hey, you need to go into the website, fill
right.
out the
Oh, yeah, they
intake
could find me
form.
on Facebook too. I forgot. I have A Wood Coaching on Facebook. So
Okay,
it's
well,
A
that's good to
Wood,
know.
like Allison A Wood Coaching. That's on Facebook
Okay.
too. Sorry, I forgot.
Yay!
I'm not a big social media
Well,
person,
I
but
think
they
you
can
sent
find
me
me.
your social media stuff too, so I can post that when I
Okay.
post your video and everything, and put whatever links that you are selling stuff
Okay.
to help them
Yeah.
get there as well. But I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time out
You're
and talking to
welcome.
everybody here and telling them about what you do for a living. And yeah, I mean, some people are just for me, I'm not a big LinkedIn person, but
Right.
I
Yeah, me
learned about
neither.
Linktree, and I was like, why would I like Linktree? Well, it caters to podcasters like myself. So now I have a laundry
Mm,
list of all my podcasts, and I can be meeting with somebody and go, oh, I interviewed this person. You need to hear this show, and just send it right to their
right.
phone.
That's
And
really
it's like,
cool.
I was like, okay, well, on LinkedIn, you can do this, but it goes on the very bottom and it's not accessible that much. I was just like, I don't know if that's going to work. Alignable is a great tool. I get a lot more people interested, but I have a thing where I just don't know if I want to pay for that when they're
Right.
actually the same people on Facebook. So
Right.
I don't know. As we go into 2024, I was like, something has to give here.
Mm,
I'm just grateful for whoever I get and find and stuff. And, TikTok is actually a blessing. I didn't know that I was going to be on it. And now I'm like, okay, short little mini with Nadine. Da, 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 da. I'm just having fun, but it's being my true self. So trying to get that out
yeah.
there. But I also wanted to quickly thank our other sponsors who are here on Keep Hope Alive. Of course, we mentioned that we have Life on Record. It's the interactive guest book for your weddings needs. And now I say weddings, you can use it for corporate events,
Ah, you could use that
birthday
for anything.
parties,
Hmm.
funerals, injuries. A voice is a voice. We love to hear voices, but check them out. Our next one is bridalshowsinc.com. Naomi is so wonderful. She's been doing this for so many years. If you are in the Dallas Fort Worth area, she hosts about 5 different trade shows throughout the year in different cities. So you can go meet vendors, see what they're showcasing, and set up appointments with them and get them booked for your event. Our next one is Deborah Rose with Miles and Smiles Events.com. She has a background in investigating, but she's a really cool. She does handwriting analysis and lipstick reading, and she is 100% accurate. I can't talk. And then I've been to, I think, one or two of her shows. Let's just put it this way. I'm at an event. There's other vendors, but why do I just want to sit with her? I think I was drawn by other people going, whoa, this was good. You did great. And, I was just like, that is somebody I would want to hire for any of my events. So check her out as well. Next, we have Bryce Harney, who is traveling all over the United States. He's been on many TV stations. He is a magician, a mind mentalist, and very good at what he does. Check him out at www.brycemagic.com. Then we have richmondpunch.net. He has graduated from the Juilliards. He is a he is famous. He's a famous what do you call it? Violinist, whatever word I
Violinist,
just
yeah.
made up. He plays the violin and he does a good job. He's performed in front of thousands of people and then had a few spots on Lifetime shows, I guess, for the
Yeah.
background music. And I was like, kudos. But he was in Dallas most of his life. He just moved to Atlanta, I believe. But he travels all across the United States and everything. So, and then our last but not least, I had to raise my hair up. It's TK Hair Salon in Plano, Texas. If you are needing a haircut for a woman, a man, children, need an updo, facial stuff done, contact them. They are right off of Spring Creek and Custer Road in Plano, Texas. And once again, they are called TK Hair Salon. All right. Well, thank you, Allison. I
Thank
hope you had a
you.
great new year and everything. And
You
I guess
too.
your I guess your goals too is to bring on more clients and get everybody to where they want to be.
Exactly.
So
And I want to inspire people that they can change anything. I want people
yeah,
to just believe in themselves and realize they can change anything. They just need the right tools and they can change
yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Oh, I have to ask because I just caught the corner of my eye. If that was your dog's
That's
doing
my
so good.
dog, Rex.
Oh, hi, doggy. What's your dog's name?
Rex.
Rex. Come on. You want to be on the podcast?
Rex, we're saying hi.
You want to say hi to
The tail. Here's you.
like
The
mom
tail's
has me
wagging.
working out. I
Yeah,
am so cool with animals being on the show. I remember I
I
was doing
know.
a
He
podcast at
has
my
to be with
ex's
me
house.
at all times. Say Rex and Roo. Hey Rex. Yeah, he's sleeping. But the tail's telling it all.
Yep, happy, very
Yeah.
happy. Well,
Yeah.
I am so happy you came on, and I look forward to our upcoming shows for Keep Hope Alive. Wherever you find your podcasts, you'll be able to find us. We do have a phone number. It is 833-780-HOPE. So if you have any questions for Allison, you can leave her a message there. We'll pass it on to her to get those answered as well. We did add a new feature to the website. If you have an idea of something you want to, have us talk about, there's a tiny little answer machine button on the website. But yeah, definitely check that out. Leave us a message. I check it every day and we can see what we can do. But other than that, everybody, love and light until our next show. Have a great day. Bye bye.